Welcome back to Up in the Northwoods. Today we're on a little job just down the road from our house. My future brother-in-law cut down the trees last fall right by this cabin. So we're gonna clean up these trees for him, get them all piled up in log form, and then put the brush on a pile so they can burn it. So I'll show you guys what he cut down, what we're gonna be cleaning up. Well, here's the trees we're cleaning up. This one fell down right in the driveway right there. That fell down. There's some brush from smaller ones he cut. But we got this one right here. You can see it goes right down there. I'll zoom out for you guys. There you go. Dropped it right down here. And this one dropped it right down here. The septic is right here, and the drain field goes right over to there. So he dropped it right there. We're gonna pile some brush here, so around the drain field, and then we're gonna do some here, so they can burn it this winter when it comes back up. So this one's gonna drop right here too, so we're gonna be able to back right in, right up here, and get to it. I don't know what that is. Oh, just some cardboard, not covering anything. But we can't drive on here, so we're gonna get this one cleaned up too right here. Well, we're gonna start with lemon here, and then we're gonna get all this pushed off so we can start piling the brush right up in here. So we're gonna get cutting. Also, this one came down with a storm a while ago. They had no way to get it down. It fell up in that pine tree. So we're just gonna grab it with the grapple trailer and we'll pull it right out of here. Should be no problem. Well, we got a nice little pile of wood here for him. All the bark's falling off that. It's like crazy. We got this brush pile moved that was here. We threw it up on that brush pile. Got that one pulled down. That actually went better than I thought. Thought it was gonna be more caught. I just touched it and it pretty much fell. And we got this. There's the first brush pile. We decided not to put it over there because it would be so close to the house. So we put a bigger one here. And we put this one here. Oh, you get a little grass right here. But then we just told them we were piling the brush and moving the wood, so they're gonna rake it all up and do all that stuff. So we got that all done. I think we're gonna go back and we're gonna cut and split some pine up for bundle wood. So we'll probably see you guys in the wood yard.
I'm gonna show you a little something here. We kind of came up with an idea. These are just some steel racks that I actually bought from Logger Jason. If you watch him on YouTube, he's got a YouTube channel. Chris in the Woodyard does a lot with him. But I've known Jason for probably 20 years, 25 years, something like that. But he had these for sale about 10, 12 years ago. And I ended up buying them and I never really used them. You can see they're real tall stakes. And I've had them laying around and we finally have a use for them. So some of the lumber we saw previously, a while back, we made them into this. So these are just gonna, you know, they'll stand straight up. But we're gonna put those up against this tight. And once you start stacking wood, it'll hold it. We could just put a C-clamp right here to hold it for the, you know, time being until we got wood in it. But we can do 3 wide on there and as high as these are. And these are probably about 5 foot from the deck to there. So we're gonna start doing our bundle grade pine wood in there. So everything bundle grade will go in here. So we're gonna start doing that. The splitter we're gonna bring back a little bit. We're gonna get cutting first, and I got a guy coming over that he used to work for us. He's a big barbecue guy, smoker guy, and he's going to be, he wants to swap briskets. I have regular briskets, and he's got corned beef. So we're gonna do a brisket swap, so to say, and then we're gonna head back here with the splitter and do a bunch of splitting.
Well, these are the saws we're using today. Got the 661C, the 25-inch bar, regular bar. Then we got the 500i with a 25-inch light bar. And then we got my 562 XP Mark II with a 24. The rakers are a little aggressive on mine. That's why it kept bogging so much. I was pushing a little hard on it, but that 661 likes to eat. We got a Egan exhaust on this one. We love that. We tried the West Coast because we just got this 500i last year. We tried the West Coast saw bark box. We like it so far. And then on mine, we just got the stock exhaust, but we took out some of the guts inside and opened it up a little more. last night we got the rest of this rack filled up. It's the next morning because it was dark out. We shut the cameras off once it started getting dark. You can see you can get quite a bit of wood in there. We got 3 rows. And then here's the loose wood that we're gonna throw into that bin that we have halfway down the road. So, but you can see it's not a very nice day out today, so it's not gonna be a wood yard day. We're in the shop doing some maintenance and stuff. So, but with that being said, since we got this done last night and all that, we'll catch you guys on the next one.